So this video will be very different from my usual content. This would be my first discussion video. I don't really see myself making more, but I mean, who knows? If people seem to enjoy it, then maybe I'll keep it going. But anyway, the Lego Arkham Asylum set was finally officially revealed, and boy, do I have thoughts, and not very positive ones. So many, in fact, that I just had to talk about it. To start off, when I first found out about this set, I thought it had great potential, especially because all the previous Arkham Asylum sets have honestly been pretty great. And unfortunately, I've never had the chance to, acquire any of those previous ones. And so I thought this would be like the perfect opportunity to get, the ultimate quintessential version of the Arkham Asylum. And so as we started getting closer to, the release date, we started getting more and more info, like the piece count, the characters included, some of the figures even leaked. But yeah, I was starting to get more and more hyped, essentially. Like many, I'm a huge Batman fan. So of course, eventually I was gonna harbor some element of excitement. So honestly, when I first saw it, I thought it was pretty good actually. But when we started getting pictures of the interior, those damn jumpsuits, which I'll get into more, the hype essentially died down and I saw it for what it is. So I'll start getting into it. I'll start with what I like about it, at least. I think the layout and composition is pretty good. It definitely takes advantage of the space a little better. I like that they decided to go with the brown color scheme. I like the entrance with the Arkham sign. I think that looks great as well. But I think that's kind of it, honestly. I know people are probably going to give it a lot of credit to the fact that it's fully enclosed, and so you could display it at all angles, but that's not really true, given the fact that it looks, super plain from the back. Essentially just gray walls. And also, I feel like it's just not, dark enough, or, it doesn't have that grungy kind of gothic aesthetic, exaggerated gothic aesthetic that I wish it had. I don't know what it is about it, but for example, the very first Arkham Asylum set, that had the aesthetic down perfectly. For some reason, it just had a darker aura than this has. I mean, you get some of that with, the gargoyles, the statue with the Joker graffiti on it. It certainly helps, but I don't know. I don't think it's enough. And I mean, I acknowledge that I'm being, pretty nitpicky, but the cells are too small. The watchtower, the way it's attached to the side of the building is a little awkward. But once I saw the computer monitor with the Clayface sticker on it, that's when I lost my shit. Clayface, a character that fans have been asking for years now. We've never ever gotten a minifigure version of him. And finally, when there could be a sliver of chance that we get him, they want to be cute and make him a sticker printed on a computer. Which leads into my main issue with the set, of course, the figures. And look, I get the build should be the main draw, for purchase. But even then, the build is not that impressive. And people care about the figures. The figures are the money makers, essentially, the main draw for a lot of people to purchase these sets. And when you make a large purchase like this, you want the figures to be exclusive, you want them to be desirable, you want them to be unique, you want them to be detailed, and this set does not have that at all. Instead, out of the 16 figures included in the set, 6 of them have jumpsuits, the same legs, the same torsos. And for collectors, which are the main people that are buying these sets, by the way, that's just not gonna cut it, at least not for me. Even for kids, let's say a kid got this for Christmas or something. You think they rather have Killer Croc in a jumpsuit, or you think they rather have generic Arkham Asylum guard over Clayface? No. Okay, so let's get into my more in-depth thoughts of each figure. I'll start off with Batman. I mean, it's just generic black suit Batman that we get in every set. It's probably the one from the mech set, honestly. I'm not sure, but it probably is. What it should have been is gray suit Batman to pay homage to those original Batman sets, with gray and black dual molded legs for the boots and printing for the trousers. Also, they need to start implementing the utility belt piece more. For some reason, they stopped using it and they should have used it here. All that would have made a super good, fully detailed Batman figure and exclusive. Next is Robin, and honestly, I don't have many issues with this one. I'm glad they even included him, and they used one of his more modern suits for Damian, the gray suit, which I really like a lot. I like that the cape is yellow on the inside and black on the outside. I like that he has a katana included. I think that's cool. I don't think they do printing on the mid-sized legs, but I mean, it would have been a nice touch. But yeah, that's it for Robin. Batwoman is next. I think it's cool that they brought her back. She's, obviously extremely rare. She only came in one set. And, I'm trying to think if I would have preferred Batgirl, but I don't know. I think I'm either or. But she definitely needed dual molded legs for the red boots. And in my opinion, they really need to start standardizing the use of dual molded legs, especially for these premium sets. Anyway, moving on to Catwoman. I actually quite like her. I like the red goggles. I like that they included printing on the legs. I mean, I would probably prefer the actual cowl piece instead of the little ear piece, but I think she still looks good. Okay, Mr. Freeze. I mean, just super plain. He needed, I don't know, some leg printing, more color variation. I think he's actually reused from another set, and this is like the worst version of his freeze gun. So yeah, overall I'm not happy with Mr. Freeze. Poison Ivy, on the other hand, I mean, she just looks great. I mean, who would have thought in the Lego Batman Arkham Asylum set, Poison Ivy would be the best figure? But I'm gonna say it again, they should have used dual molded legs, and that would have made her perfect. I still kind of think the Lego Movie Batman version is better. Because, I mean, she had the exclusive hairpiece, she had the fabric waist cape, she had dual molded arms. So, I mean, yeah, when you compare, you see the large quality deficit. But anyway, moving on to jumpsuit number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I mean, they just didn't have to do it this way. I mean, people are going to make the argument that it wouldn't make sense for them to have their original costumes. But it's like, look at Bane, he literally has a Venom tank attached to his back, and he's locked up. Why would he have that? But even if it's like, okay, fine, let's include the jumpsuits. They should have done 3 max. And the characters that they chose to put in those jumpsuits is what pisses me off too. Joker, for example, he's fine. We've gotten plenty of Jokers. You could probably get a cheap one online or from any other set, really. So fine, keep him in a jumpsuit. But Bane, Scarecrow, Killer Croc, like, bro, honestly, I wonder if it was on purpose. Because Bane, for example, he's kind of rare. Killer Croc in minifigure form is crazy rare. We've only ever gotten him once. Scarecrow is a little more acquirable, but still. If it were up to me, I would have done Joker in a jumpsuit, Penguin, and Riddler. The rest, all they have their original suits. That would have been the best way to do it. But okay, so the Arkham guards, just the more I think about it, they should have included other characters instead of these generic guards. For example, if they really wanted to include guards, they should have done Aaron Cash, Hook Hand, and everything. And it would have paired perfectly with Killer Croc since he's the one that ate his hand. And so now you have an actual character and an exclusive character that justifies the value of this set, at least a little more. And instead of a copy-paste guard, why not include Gordon? Which, by the way, from what I can tell, they don't even have like an Arkham sigil or badge like anywhere on them. So if that's the case, they should have just switched them out for other more notable characters, and people could just add officers from like Lego City police sets, and you have guards. I know that I have a bunch of those police officer torsos. Again, it's like, the more I think about it, the more I get upset with this set, because it has so much potential. But yeah, I mean, my dream lineup would have included Clayface for sure, Azrael, I really like Azrael, Killer Moth. Bro, I would switch out Penguin for Killer Moth any day. I know other people mention characters like Hush or like Zaz or like Mad Hatter, which would be cool options, but I don't know. I guess it's up to a preference. Not to mention Two-Face is missing. You would think that would include him. Oh, and I forgot to talk about Batwing, which goes to show. I mean, they should have just used Nightwing. Batwing is cool, but he's just not as popular as Nightwing. But okay, so this rant went on for a little too long. So final thoughts here. When I see sets like the Daily Bugle, for example, that feels like the ultimate Spider-Man set. Or the Avengers Tower even. That one set gets you everything and a little more. Or at least the main Avengers. And granted, they're more expensive, obviously, but, you get the point. This does not feel like the ultimate Batman set. This feels like, I don't know, just meh. Could have been better. But oh well, I guess. At the very least, I hope the success of the new Superman film is able to revitalize the DC brand and will grant us some better DC sets. After all, they did tease the Daily Bugle in here. But yeah, that's everything. Enough ranting. Bye for now.